I went into the live-action How to Train Your Dragon expecting another Hollywood disaster, another soulless remake, another nostalgia-bait cash grab. But I walked out of that theatre confused. Not because it was bad, not at all. It was actually good, like shockingly good, and that's what terrified me. Before we begin, please consider leaving a like and subscribing. It really helps. This movie is almost exactly the same as the original, and I don't mean spiritually similar or loosely adapted. I mean line for line, shot for shot, same exact dialogue kind of remake. The mannerisms, the flying sequences, the relationship between Hiccup and Toothless, all of it feels lifted straight from the 2010 animated film. It's basically a remastered version with flesh and blood actors and dragons that look just real enough not to creep you out. Now I get it. Some people might say that's lazy, but after the mess of remakes we've had to sit through, looking at you, Disney, I actually found this incredibly refreshing. It's the first remake in years that didn't make me want to throw my popcorn at the screen. And yet, while I respect the faithfulness, there's this lingering feeling I couldn't shake. You know what's funny? For years, we've all been complaining about live-action remakes being too different. They ruined the original. They changed too much. Why can't they just stay faithful? All stuff we've said over and over again. But now here comes How to Train Your Dragon 2025. Easily the most faithful remake we've ever gotten. And somehow it still doesn't feel right. Because this film shows us the other side of the problem. Yeah, it's good. And yeah, if you've never seen the original, it might even feel great. For new viewers, it's an epic story with heart, dragons, and genuinely beautiful moments. But for those of us who grew up with the 2010 version, who've watched it a dozen times, memorized the lines, felt the emotional weight of that score, this remake feels like same, but different. It's familiar, almost too familiar. Like watching someone do a very good impression of your favorite performance. Technically, it's all there, but it doesn't hit quite the same. And that's the real twist. The one time Hollywood actually listens to fans and gives us exactly what we said we wanted. We realize that maybe, just maybe, that's not what we needed at all. There were moments during this movie where I genuinely paused and thought, what if they had changed something here? Not because the original scenes were bad, far from it, but because the story almost begged for a fresh beat or a deeper perspective. Now that we're retelling it for a new audience in a new medium 15 years later, you feel it most with characters like Astrid or the supporting cast. This film has 30 extra minutes of runtime. That's a huge opportunity. So why not explore new angles? Why not take time to flesh out emotional dynamics? Maybe show a different side of the village's fear of dragons, or build on the strained father-son relationship with something more than just reworded lines from the animated script. But here's the thing, I didn't really want them to. Because we've seen what happens when Hollywood tries to update or reimagine beloved stories. They give us Mulan without Mushu. They give us The Lion King with hyper-realistic animals. They give us Avatar: The Last Airbender and pretend like the energy of the source material doesn't matter. Every time they veer too far from the blueprint, it ends in disaster. So now we're stuck in this weird place we've been burned so many times by creative liberty that when a remake shows restraint and sticks to what works, we call it a win, even if it just means we got the same meal reheated. It's safe, it's comforting, but it's also kind of sad. Because deep down, this should have been a chance to add something. Not change everything, just expand. Give us something that makes revisiting this world feel worthwhile. But I get it. After years of studios going full Frankenstein on remakes, maybe we've all become too afraid to ask for more. And that's not just on Hollywood, that's on us too. Here's the thing that really gets me. Why was this even a remake to begin with? How to Train Your Dragon is one of those rare franchises that already has a full, satisfying arc. 3 amazing movies, spin-off shows, a generation's worth of love and storytelling. The world they built, the dragons, the tribes, the Viking culture, the emotional depth. It's rich with untapped potential. So why are we just retelling the exact same story beat for beat when there's so much room to expand? Imagine a story set before Hiccup, when dragons were still seen as pure enemies. A gritty prequel about the first Viking who dared to question the status quo. Someone who maybe even laid the foundation for Hiccup's future compassion. Or what about a sequel far into the future? A world where dragons are a myth again and someone rediscovers Toothless's legacy. A story about remembering forgotten magic, not recreating it. Or even better, shift the lens to a completely different region of the world. Another tribe, another culture, different dragons, different myths. Show us how the rest of this dragon-filled world works. Give us new characters to care about, not just copies of ones we already know. That's what storytelling is supposed to be about. Exploring, not just recycling. This franchise has the foundation for that. It has everything it needs to grow into something bigger than just a remake factory. But instead, we got a really well-made rerun. So here's where I land. This remake is technically great. It's emotionally strong. It's respectful. It does everything we've been asking for, and that's exactly why it hurts a little. We've spent years roasting remakes for being too different, for straying too far from the source. But now How to Train Your Dragon 2025 shows us what happens when you go too far in the other direction. When a remake is so faithful, it forgets to justify its own existence. For new audiences, it's wonderful. A magical story told well. But for the rest of us, it's same but different. A great copy of something we already love. A story that didn't need to be retold, just reimagined, redirected, or built upon. Because great stories don't need to be redone. They need to be continued, expanded, explored. So if studios are really listening, here's my ask. Don't just replay our childhoods. Show us what comes next. Let's not just keep feeding the dragon. Let's see where it flies next. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment down your thoughts. See you in the next one.